let's go back to the beginning. Something that might make us feel better, I guess, by comparison.
Flypaper for this. You keep.
So, well, I guess speaking of Tucker Carlson, sorry, perfect segue. I'm the worst person to take in my own advice, people. I'm going to give the advice knowing that I'm not going to take it anyhow. Deep breath. Don't lose faith. This too shall pass. Justice shall prevail. And there will be political hell to pay for destroying a nation in such a short period of time. The pendulum swings and it swings back. But don't become the monster that they want you to become so that they can then say, look what we have to do to protect ourselves from these monsters. Okay, back to Tucker Carlson.
You keep having sort of explicit white supremacists who have, on secret message boards who work for you, and you have to. I know this has been very painful for you in some cases.
I've never even met a white supremacist.
By the way, do you notice the loser think strategy? This is so. Just so we're clear on what's going on here. Tucker Carlson gave an interview with Ben Smith, who's a reporter for Buzzfeed News. So maybe he's a propagandist. He's a propagandist activist, fake news purveyor for Buzzfeed. I'm just being funny, but no, he is fake news, and he's totally disingenuous. But set that aside. Tucker Carlson gives an interview with this guy, and in the interview, this was just my favorite section of it.
Sort of explicit white supremacists who have, on secret message boards who work for you, and you have to. I know this is very painful for you in some cases.
I've never even met a white supremacist.
You have these folks. You have folks who have, on secret message boards who work for you, and you have to. I know this has been very painful for you in some cases.
I know this has been very painful for you in some cases. That most people probably didn't hear that. You've got white supremacists, racists. I know it's got to be very painful for you. You see the tactic there, by the way, is to pivot from the lie of an accusation and then supersede it with something which they want to get him to respond to that, which is either, no, it's not very, it's either, yes, it's very painful for me, thus reaffirming the lie, or no, it's not very painful for me, thus reaffirming the lie underlying statement. It says, you got racists and supremacists following you. Lie. It's a lie. Does Tucker Carlson have any more racists or white supremacists following him than Hillary Clinton does her? I might think that one might have more than the other, and it might not be Tucker Carlson. Set that aside. Let's just say that in a population, you're going to have a-holes, racists, whomever you want, and they might watch Tucker Carlson. I got 500,000 subs on YouTube, over. The chances are that there's some criminals in there who watch me as well. Law of statistics. But if this guy were to say to me, Viva, you've got racists and white supremacists, as though that defines my content, and then moves on, lie, and then moves on to I know that's got to be very difficult for you.
Boards who work for you, and you have to, I know this has been very painful for you in some cases.
I know it's been very painful for you in some cases. So you either say, no, it's not painful for me in some case. It's not painful for me, which affirms the lie, or you say it is painful for me, which would be a stupid thing to say. Lie of a question, loser think of a go right after the intentions, the emotions, and try to slip past the lie. Pay attention to the tactic in general, people, because it's not, this is often used with liars. And it's often used with propagandists and people who want to state the lie and then pivot to a reaction on the lie where the reaction itself never actually addresses the underlying lie. But Tucker Carlson, whatever you think about him, you can't think that he's not smart.
I've never even met a white supremacist.
You have these folks. You have folks who have posted. You have a large number of people. Scott Greer, Blake Neff. I'm just curious why you've been so.
By the way, this interviewer accused Tucker Carlson of steamrolling people in the first minutes of this interview.
Sort of flypaper for these people on your staff.
You're not asking me a question.
That was the question. Why have you been flypaper for these racists?
I've never had a white supremacist work for me. I don't think I've ever talked to a white supremacist. Please let me finish.
And I don't want to fight about labels. White supremacists. Why have you been flypaper for these racists? And I don't want to fight about labels.
Can you imagine the level of insidious dishonesty and malicious smearing that has to go on in somebody's head to say you're followed by racists, white supremacists, I don't want to argue about labels. I just want you to accept the labels that I'm putting on you. I don't want to argue about them. I just want to make the accusations. Shameless, disgusting, just awful, just awful. But that's BuzzFeed News, or I guess the BuzzFeed individual. Was there anything else I wanted to add to that? No, just disgusting. But go. What did I say here? I forget my own thoughts these days. I don't want to fight about labels. I don't want to fight about labels. I just want to call people names, the worst names on earth, names that eviscerate, publicly execute the character of an individual. I want to call them that. I want people to believe that they're that, but I don't want to fight about labels. I just want to mislabel things and then not fight about labels. Let's just say that there's 0 calories in regular Coke. I don't want to fight about labels. Just accept it. Accept my lies. I'm still can't get over I still can't get over that hammer. What else was there? Someone just said the world has gone insane. Hold on, where was it? Deceptive leftist. Where was that? Disgusting. I won't say leftist. It's a tactic. It's a tactic that even rightists can do. But here we go. The world has gone insane. Funky Blue. Shinzo Abe killed yesterday. The world has gone mad, and it feels like it could, it feels like it can be overwhelming. And in some senses, it is. In some meaningful senses, this is like, what do you do when the world goes this mad? I mean, do you just shut up and hope for another smooth day? A day of calm, just one more day. I forget who said it, but he said, it's easy to tyrannize people because by and large, most people just want to live one more day in peace and security, even if it comes at the peace and security of the day to come. I had other stuff on the menu and I can't even remember what it was now. Let me just pull this one up here and then I'm going to go grab another article. I get you want to leave on a positive note with saying this too shall pass, but what can someone do in North Korea? Once they cross the Rubicon, options become limited. It's sad, but it's reality. Yeah, I mean, here's the question. What can they do in North Korea? Nothing. Do you think violence is gonna do anything in North Korea? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let me just pull up the other stories of the day.